I want to tell you about one of my mentors, Barry Posner. Barry is one of the authors of The Leadership Challenge, one of the most important leadership books ever written. Now in its 7th edition with over 3 million copies sold. Barry has co-authored more than a dozen award-winning leadership books and published over 100 research articles. He is one of the most credible voices on leadership in the world. And the first thing he said to me when he saw me at a conference recently was, "Hey, Andrea, how is Mason?" Not, "How's your daughter? How's the family?" Mason by name. Because he knows that she is the most important person in my life. And that is what makes him such a credible source on leadership. Not the books, not the research, not the credentials. Though all of those are extraordinary, it's that he lives what he writes every single day in every single interaction. I watched him throughout that conference, just as I have the several other times I've been in person with him. And, one of the days during the conference, someone had brought in donuts, and there was Barry walking around the room serving people. I've seen him clearing trash from the tables quietly without announcement, without anyone asking him to, just doing it because it needed to be done and he was there. He models the way. That's one of the 5 practices of exemplary leadership that he writes about. And he doesn't just write about it. He doesn't just teach it. He is it. And here's the leadership lesson I want you to sit with today. Credibility is not built in the big moments. It's built in the small ones. And whether you remember someone's daughter's name, and whether you pick up the trash when nobody's watching, and whether you show up in a room, any room, every room, and reflect the values you claim to hold. We talk a lot about leadership as a concept, about the frameworks and the models and the research. And yes, all of that matters. But the leaders who leave the deepest impression, the ones you think about years later, the ones whose example you carry, the ones you talk about in a podcast that's really important to you, they are the ones whose walk matches their talk, all the way down to the donuts. Barry has been a mentor to me for a few years, and what I learn most from him isn't anything he has ever said in a presentation. It's from watching him be exactly who he says leaders should be, in the margins, in the moments, in the way he makes every person in the room feel seen. So think about the leader who has influenced you the most. Was it what they said or how they showed up in the small moments? And in your own leadership, do the small moments match your big message? Model the way, all the way down to the donuts. What a great way to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.